Greetings, yoga friends. I'm Rebecca, and welcome to this series designed around flexion in the hips. We'll be using this practice to draw ourselves into our bodies and into our experiences by keeping the knee close to the heart. You may use some blocks for this practice if you like, but otherwise you won't need any props. So go gather what you need, and I'll see you on the mat. We're going to begin today on our backs. So I invite you to come down to your back on the mat. And we'll start in constructive rest pose today. So find a comfortable place on your mat and allow your feet to come out to the edges of your mat and your knees to rest in on each other. You can bring one hand to the belly and one hand to the heart if you like, or just allow the hands to rest comfortably wherever they feel best for you. And we'll just begin to smooth out the breath, breathing in and out through the nose. Perhaps just imagining yourself here falling back into your own body, snuggling in like you might put on your favorite sweatshirt or your favorite pair of comfy pants. Just coming back in and filling all the corners of your own body. And now bringing the knees into the chest. We'll put our hands on the shins or maybe underneath the knees here, avoiding this sensitive area right underneath the knee. And just pull the legs into the chest. Maybe rock side to side just a little, or maybe just stay in stillness. Whatever feels inviting to you. Now we'll begin a little movement with the breath. So taking the hands around the left leg, we'll pull the left knee into the chest as we inhale. And then as we're exhaling, extend the right leg out long. And now moving with the breath, inhaling the right leg in, exhale, left leg goes out. And continuing this movement with your own breath, inhaling as you move the knee into the chest, exhaling as you press the other knee away. And just welcome any sensations as they come to the body here. Maybe hugging the leg a little to the outside of the body. And then after you've completed another couple of rounds of your own breath, we'll all meet with our knees back into our chests. Again, maybe finding that little natural roll from side to side, or finding some other movement that feels good in your body here. And then we'll allow the feet to come down to the mat. We'll roll to one side. And we're going to going to bring ourselves up to a tabletop position at the top of the mat. So find your tabletop here, aligning those wrists right underneath the shoulders, knees coming right underneath the hips, and maybe your toes are turned under, or maybe the tops of your feet are pressing into the mat. Either way, we'll begin to find some movement in the spine here. So taking a deep breath as we allow the belly to relax down, and then exhaling, rotating that tailbone under, pressing out of the mat. Inhale and exhale. Coming through this movement with your own breath now, at your own speed. And let's move through this 2 or 3 times more. Nice. And now coming back to our neutral spine and tabletop, pulling that front body up to meet the back body, and walking the hands, a couple of handprints out in front. Taking a moment here to connect with the foundation that we have in the hands. So really pressing the fingers to the mat in the place where they meet the palm. And then bringing a little curve into the fingertips here so that there's a little space underneath the knuckles. And pulling the pinky in towards the thumb. Feel that little cup come up underneath the hand. And keeping this engagement in the hands, we'll roll the toes under and shift the hips up towards the ceiling. And I invite you today to take your feet out to the wide sides of your mat so that you have sort of a wide stance to your down dog. Feel into how this changes the pose in your body. How is your pelvis free to move? Maybe you're able to rotate your tailbone up towards the ceiling a little better. Maybe you're able to feel into pressing away from the mat in a different way. So just take a moment here to breathe. And if you like to deepen into one heel and then the other, not needing to be concerned here with whether or not the heels reach the mat. Just experiencing this pose in your body. Maybe inhaling up to the toes and exhaling, relaxing the heels, keeping the pelvis tilted up towards the ceiling. Inhaling up to the toes. Exhale, release. And one last time, inhale up, and exhale, release. Now bending into the knees, we'll take the gaze forward as we walk the feet up to the top of the mat, coming into forward fold. So find your forward fold here, maybe knees are bent. Allowing the crown of the head to relax down towards the floor. Taking a couple of deep breaths. And then when you're ready, bending the knees slightly, we'll inhale up to stand with a flat back, reaching the fingertips up overhead, and then allowing the hands to meet and come to heart center. Just a moment here to pause and reflect. Maybe make some readjustments if you need to. And then we'll inhale the arms up overhead. Exhale, sweeping down, forward fold. Inhale up halfway, nice straight spine. Exhale back down into the fold. Stepping back now, coming to plank or half plank. And then you can come through a vinyasa here, or you can come straight into downward facing dog. So choosing how you'd like to travel back from this plank pose. If you're coming through a vinyasa, we'll inhale forward slightly. Exhale as we bring the elbows into the sides of the body, lowering down slowly. Tops of the feet come to the floor. Inhale up, using those back muscles, baby cobra. Exhale to release, turning the toes under, pressing up through plank or half plank, and exhaling, downward facing dog. We'll build some strength next by moving the leg out and towards the elbow. If this is not a movement that's available in your body, my necklace is in my way today. If this is not a movement that's available in your body, you may alternate between down dog and plank. So if you'd like, you can bring your toes close together here, inhaling up through the right leg. And then as we're exhaling, we'll bring the right knee towards the right elbow. Inhaling, we'll extend that right leg up. Exhaling, right knee, left elbow. Inhaling, this time everyone right leg up. Exhale, hugging that right knee into the midline. And then stepping through the hands, coming into your lunge. If you'd like to elevate yourself slightly, using some blocks to deepen into that lunge, I invite you to do that now. And then we'll all lower the back knee, pressing the top of the back foot into the floor, really grounding down through the heel here, and inhaling the arms up overhead. Extending up long through the fingers as we inhale, turning those pinkies towards each other. And then exhale, allowing those fingertips to rain down, coming back to the mat or your blocks. Nice big inhale here. We'll shine the chest forward. And as we're exhaling, peeling this right hip back, getting a little length in the hip flexor. And you can be on blocks or fingertips here. Pulling the toes back towards the face. And then as we're inhaling, rolling forward back onto this front foot, planting the hands, we'll roll the toes under. And on our next inhale, bring the left foot up to meet the right, coming up halfway. And exhaling, forward fold. From here, we'll allow the hips to sink down, sweeping the arms up, out front, or next to the ears, coming into our chair pose, Utkatasana. Big deep breath here. Exhale, and then inhale to stand. Inhaling the arms up overhead. We'll exhale, coming down, forward fold. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale, surrender and bow. And then stepping back to plank and finding your way home to your down dog, either through your vinyasa or straight to down dog. And once you've found your way back to your down dog, taking a breath, and then allowing the big toes to meet once again, inhaling up through the left leg this time. Exhale, left knee, left elbow. Inhale, lifting the leg. Exhale, left knee, right elbow. Inhale to lift the leg, everyone now. Exhale, bringing that left leg all the way through center. Bringing in your blocks. If you like, coming into a lunge. Dropping the back knee to the mat. We'll allow the top of the foot to press into the mat. Finding our foundation. And then inhaling, arms up overhead. Pinkies rotating towards each other. And then exhale, fingers rain down. Using blocks or not. Nice big deep breath here. And then as we're exhaling, pulling back through the left hip this time. Left toes flex up towards the face, coming into half split. Inhaling as we roll forward back onto the left foot, bringing the hands to frame the left foot, coming up on the right toes. Inhale, back foot comes to meet the front, inhaling up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Nice full breath. And then inhaling up into our chair pose. Shifting the hips back. Arms can be reaching straight out front or at heart center or sweeping up next to the ears. Inhaling here. And then exhale, we'll bring the hands to heart center as we come to stand. Taking a moment to reflect. And then from here, inhaling the arms up overhead. Exhale, sweeping down, forward fold. Last time here. Inhaling up halfway. Exhale, forward fold. Stepping back into your plank or half plank, and then taking yourself home to downward facing dog. Finding whatever is available in your body to you today. Maybe that's cobra, maybe it's up dog. And then coming to meet in downward facing dog. Taking a moment here to reflect, perhaps on how your experience of this pose is different than at the beginning of this brief practice today. And then when you're ready, allow the knees to come down to the mat. And we'll shift our way back around onto the back. So find your way down onto your back. And bring the knees into the chest. Again, maybe finding that little natural movement here. And then hugging the knees tightly into the chest will allow the arms to come open wide, palms facing up, so that the shoulders can snuggle underneath the back. And then inhaling here, we'll drop the knees to one side, any side, and take the gaze over the opposite shoulder. And then inhale the knees back to the chest. Exhale, knees to the other direction, taking the gaze over the other shoulder. Allowing that opposite shoulder to remain relaxed down on the mat. Inhaling the knees back to the chest. And now taking the hands, reaching through the knees, and maybe grasping the toes or the outsides of the feet, or even the shins here, will allow the feet to come up so that the soles are facing the ceiling. And come into happy baby. knees are pulled in here, moving towards the outside of the body. You might find a little movement, or maybe you're in stillness. Tucking the chin slightly, allowing the back of the neck to be long and the shoulders to be relaxed. And then when you're ready, bring the soles of the feet to touch. And we'll use the hands to extend the legs out long as we come into Shavasana. You might take this Shavasana lying on your back, or perhaps you'd like to take the constructive rest pose we took at the beginning of the practice. Maybe a reclined butterfly or side lying appeals to you. So finding what feels best and most restful to you as we bring this practice to a close. Feel free to stay here as long as you like. Or if you prefer, you can wiggle your fingers and toes. Perhaps roll to one side if you're not there already. Cradle your head on your arm for just a moment. And then when you're ready, press yourself back up to a seated position. And keep your gaze lowered or your eyes closed. Thank you so much for joining me for this brief practice today. And may your yoga follow you off the mat.